Good morning. Welcome to Options Center. Happy Friday, everybody. It's January 12th, 11:30 in the morning. Thank you for joining us here in this new year, 2024. Yesterday, we went over a lot of the daily charts. We went around the horn and checked out Megatech stock and some of the indices just to kind of look at the relationships between the markets and those large cap stocks. Most forming those wedge type patterns that are the bearish rising wedge, and not playing out yet. It's Friday. I don't see the market tanking today or into Monday. Typically, if you're looking at the seasonality of the weekly pattern, Monday kind of follows what happens on Friday, and if we're not going to move down on, today being Friday, then I don't see Monday being that we'll be looking for a turnaround Tuesday to perhaps be a top or near the top. All right. So once again, thank you everybody. You have been fabulous, helping out the channel and getting the likes and just helping grow. So I'm going to do my best to get you the best information out here. So my goal today is to go down to the lower time frames on the 65 minute, and then during the weekend we'll check out the higher eagle eye view of the market from top down. Okay, so today we'll go. We're just looking at SPY here on the daily time frame. Then we'll go around the horn, all the tech stocks again, and the indices in the VIX on the 65 minute. So right now we have a tail candle where we had a nice big dip yesterday, and that held. So that gives me a signal on what is happening going into our target on Tuesday being a top. So that's what we do on this channel every single day. As soon as the market gives you new information, it held this support area right here. This is a whole zone, held that support and is now rising, but really having a tough time at this ascending ascending wedge top here. Okay, so let's go down to the 65. And we did make a slight new high today, so that gives us another bearish divergence on all the time frames. Okay, all-time highs. Do I think we get it? Possibly. It's right there. It's literally right there at 480, to be exact, 479.98, and we're just a couple points away, and so it's very possible we get this. We had this move up here, and just like we talk about over and over, where if you have a ending move, there's always a possibility to hold the midpoint, usually about the midpoint or maybe down to the 62% retracement, to where that's just the start of an extension of a larger leg. Okay, so for example, we're getting a wave 4 here because we made a new top, so that's confirmed that this is a wave 4, and now we have a 1 because we held this I believe that was a 50% retracement and made a new high here. So right now it appears we either finished or we are in the middle of a wave 3, and then we'll need either we get 4 and we just get a tiny bit more because wave 3 can't be the smallest. I don't think this is done yet. What I think this is an ending diagonal. So I believe this is a 3-wave move. This is a zigzag for a 1. We got our 2. Looking for a zigzag. We pulled back already for a 3, possibly to get the all-time high or right underneath it. Pull back just a tiny bit and get our 4 or 5, possibly to get new all-time highs. And once we get, if we get that all-time high, we're just going to slightly, and we've talked about this before, we're going to slightly change our Elliott wave pattern and just change it over to what we have for the Qs. We talked about it yesterday. I'm not going to go over it again today, but where we get an all-time high, and now we're just going to start a brand new move down. Right now, we consider this that the bull market was over and we don't make a new top and we see a 5-wave move down. This doesn't change anything. And when I mean 5-wave move down, I mean a massive move downside. So if we do get this new all-time high, it's going to be just like the Qs where it's starting a fresh 5-wave move down. So either scenario, we're looking for the same thing. So it doesn't change anything except for what the possibility of the pattern will be in the long run. And then we'll talk a lot more about that in the future. So right now we're looking for this being an ending diagonal. And all the indicators, we have another, since we got a new high here, but we're getting a lower high. Higher high in price, lower high. On this indicator, the MACD, same thing with the RSI, lower high. And even on the slow stow, we're not going to get that crash today. We're not going to get the move down. It doesn't appear that that's happening. I think it's quite possible we get an all-time high and that we're just going to eke out just a slow day for the rest of the day today, and Monday should be very, very slow. Now, if we gap up Monday and we see a high, that's fine. There's no rule that it can't reverse on Monday. It's just not typical that Friday is a turnaround point. All right, enough with that. We have the Qs. We have the Qs not making highs is diverging from the SPY. We have a high here, a lower high, and a lower high. That may be the case. That may be the case that we don't get a new high in the Qs. And we'll check it out in IWM. We could still get a new high, but it's diverging. And so maybe the NASDAQ is just weaker at this point. But IWM appears that it might be a little bit stronger to finish the day. It did to start the day, but we'll see what happens. We'll talk about it when we get there. Now, we had this rising bearish wedge. Same thing that we're in on the higher time frames, but this is a smaller version. Broke down from it, and we're back testing. Could we get a new high? Possibly. Right now we have a downtrend line, and we're getting tightened price action, so we'll see what happens. And we can start to, one thing, I'll post a video on trend lines and support. And so one thing that we'll do, we have this trend line here, but if we make a new high, I should have did this on SPY. If we make a new high, then we'll make another trend line under here. At this point, we don't have a new high, so we won't do that. I should have showed you on the SPY. Sorry about that. But we are, as we pull back, it does look like an impulsive move. I mean, this could have been easily an A, B, C, because that wave looks impulsive. So we'll see if we retrace just a deep retracement and then we continue down, or if we get a slight new high. The IWM, this is what I was talking about, excuse me, with the IWM. Yeah, by the way, there goes we have Bitcoin reversing hard. So I have a lot of alerts going off today. We got a reversal. We're starting to dip a little bit here as we speak, but I thought that IWM is possible. We had this falling wedge that this would be a leader to retrace in order to keep the market up. Doesn't look like that's gonna be the case. We're slightly getting back down into, so this could be a fake break. What this could be is initial move down. I don't think we're gonna get new highs in IWM. I think this is an impulse move, and this could be a running flat. I don't know if we got a new high here. That's 196.97. This is 197. So we got a new high here. Then this could be possibly either, if we're done with this retracement, this could be a expanding flat, A, B, C, and the move is done, and we continue to head lower. That means that this will help drag the market down. But if it just holds right here on this wedge, then this could be the leader going into Monday and Tuesday. Okay, and help hold the market up while the Qs could still be weak. All right, so that in a sense could be a pairs trade where you have short the Qs long term, which this is what I am, and a couple of calls for protection on IWM in the short term going into Monday, Tuesday. And if everything just continues to go down, I have plenty of short positions. It won't matter. This is just, I'm thinking hedge. All right. DAA is kind of leading today to the downside. We are in shorts here as well. Kind of a consolidation pattern, just drifting up. You notice we have as soon as we start to break this trend here, then we'll be a lot more bearish on it. Otherwise, we could still kind of bounce a little bit. But just made slight new highs again and just forming a rising wedge with divergence each and every time. I don't need to keep showing the indicators because they all say the same thing. All right, we'll go to the VIX this time, and then we'll go to the big tech stocks. So we had the falling wedge here on the 65, and now we're getting this first impulse move, and this correction could possibly be over where we have an A, B, and then we got a slightly lower move down for C. So this could be over, or this could get one more slight low. We do have a gap here that we opened up today. So I like to draw in my gaps. And so this could continue up. This move could be over and the market could continue to head lower. Or if you start to see the VIX just move back down and just get, all it needs to do is just get another slight low, possibly even get a higher low closing this gap here and continue to the upside. That would be bad for the market. So that's why we look at the VIX. Now, if the VIX makes a new high over this 13, let's call it 1330 area, then I think this is done for, and I think the market is headed lower from here. You do see a lot of things turning red here. We're short almost all of these stocks. I'll go through them individually. We have Apple. I am not short on Apple because of its deep move already. It could certainly continue to move down from here. If you count this as a 1 2 1 2, and then we're getting a 3, and this is just a wave 4 pullback, then this is perfect for a little retracement. We continue lower, and Apple could be leading the market lower. Amazon made a new high. It's another divergent high. All the indicators. And so we're starting to get a reversal here. Do we get just another slight high here? It's possible. We'll see what happens. I'm not getting aggressive long here. Where I think we start going lower as soon as Tuesday. So I'm not playing that game. I'm going to put a little bit of hedge on to the upside in IWM and one SPY contract. But majority of my positions are puts, later dated. Meta made a new divergent high once again. Now we had this wedge forming here. Clearly that didn't hold. So we can now start to form it a little bit higher, a little bit steeper. Just like that. Now it could be just a simple throw over and we continue to the downside there. But it appears that this is over. We have a 1 2 3 4 5, or I think the count's a little better as an ending diagonal to where we have this 3-wave move up for 1, 2, and then a 3-wave move up for 3, 4, and this was a 3-wave move for 5. So that all fits. With all these divergences, I think we're going lower. Short Meta. I'm actually short. I'm underwater on Meta. I shorted this high here. So we're underwater, but with the movement, when we get our reversal, it's not going to be pretty, guys. we're going to take the elevator down. It's not going to be stair-stepping and pitter-pattering around. It's going to be a pretty aggressive move to the downside, and it's going to be pretty relentless. And so my videos are going to reflect that. I will be looking for bounces at certain times, but those bounces will be very speculative. So we'll have longer date. We'll only hedge our longer dated swing positions. But right now, we're pretty aggressive to the downside, and I'm going to repeat that over and over. I think this market is very weak. I think we're going much lower, and we'll look at the higher time frame Elliott wave counts this weekend. We'll go all the way to the monthly and weekly and show you exactly where I think these are targeting, and I'll even give you a target today. If you stick around, hit that notification button. I'll give you a target today. If the top, and we may adjust it for a point or two, if the top is nearly over, then I'll show you where I think the first move is going. Google. Again, you have this wedge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-wave move. I think it's we possibly had our impulse move down, and we're just retracing. Microsoft. I think this move is over. We drew our wedge a little bit different yesterday. Yeah, we have a much bigger wedge. That's right, on the daily time frame. So all these tops coincide here. This top, and this top for 3 drive to the end. We had possibly an impulse wave move down and a retracement. So a nice breakout here. We were looking for that breakout. We were in Microsoft, but it just kept holding it. This is almost, I think, 3 weeks. It might be longer than that, where it was in this zone. So we tried to use some calls and just didn't work out until we were already out. We were already out, and then just massive move up. Tesla, just fake break from our possible flag pattern and just relentless to the downside. Coming up to support pretty soon here, so we'll probably get a little bit of a bounce. We're not going to be playing that bounce. NVIDIA already short. NVIDIA still could hit our target of 555. We talked about 550. We already hit that point, but it looks like it wants to reach at this ending. You see a 3-wave move here. This possibly just could be when we talked about being long NVIDIA last week. Awesome moves. We talked about this being either a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, being a 1, and then a 2, and a 3, and then we'll get 4, 5. You can still kind of count it like that, but really what I think is happening is a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. That gives us a nice sharp move to the upside. And then we started to work out our wave 3s, 4, 5, 4, 5, and possibly one more high here as a 4, 5. Could be done. Could be done already, but we do have another target here at 555. And we're done going around the Megatech stocks, but here's what I want to show you. Since we got a new high here, what we're going to do is we'll watch this trend line too as we start to descend. When we start to descend, and this will be another sell signal if we break this new trend line here. Okay. All right, so all these divergences, this could collapse at any time. Does it wait till Tuesday? I think so. Does it start to do it today? I don't know. It really looks like it's just weak today, but we'll see what happens on Monday and Tuesday. Not much to do right now. We're in all of our positions. We're swinging short. I know it's the dollar. We had to watch. We put this on Twitter a couple times. The dollar. This was a really good sign here. Sorry to bore you guys. I hope you watched all the way through this video. We have a falling bullish wedge, and also a pattern within it. This is a inverse head and shoulder. And so what we're doing here is we have our left shoulder, head, and right shoulder, and we're just back testing this falling wedge. And when we start to break this 102.50-ish area, when we start to break this zone, that's going to be very bad for the market. So this will be a good tell that the market is starting to fall as well. So we have our pullback, which is good for the market. When we pull back, the market says, yay, and starts going to the high. And then we start breaking out here. The market's going to No, it's going to start tanking. So same thing with the with rates, which clearly is opposite of bonds. So as the bonds go down, rates will go up. And what's happening is we had our channel, we broke out from the channel, and you have the inverse head and shoulder here as well. It's just a little bit skewed. So I can draw this is the neckline here. So we have our left shoulder, head, right shoulder that we're forming, and now it's just a back test of that channel, and now we're starting to lift our heads off the floor. So I do think once the VIX rises, TNX, which is a 10-year treasury rate, rises, dollar rises. Very, very bad for the market, you guys. All right, I hope that's clear. We're going to go on the higher time frames this weekend and show you exactly where I think price range is going. I promised you, trying to give you everything that I promised. Our first target, we start to head to the downside. Our first target, our first wave, simple as this. Wave 1 is going to test these highs. It's as simple as that, and we should get here fast. So when we get our turn, it shouldn't take much more than I don't want to put really a time frame on it. It's going to be within a week or two that we get down to the 460 area, which is this consolidation, this top here, and also the pivot from the all-time highs that we broke out from here. So this zone, 460 zone, yes, it could be 452. Yes, it could be 460. This zone here, we'll get there pretty quick. All right, looking forward to it. Let's make some money. You guys, thanks for joining us here at Options Center. Thanks for liking the video. Thanks for all the support. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.